Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that the video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, what is Fred Matiang'i's game plan for 2027? And where is Fred Matiang'i? That is the question which most Kenyans are currently asking. I watched this clip by Antony Kagendi, and I was actually shocked. Because that clip, whatever he said there, is definitely going to hurt the presidential bid of Fred Matiang'i. I want you to listen to what Antony Kagendi is trying to say in this clip.
The past 1 week, 2 key CEOs have been sacked. One is in the nursing council. 2, Mathare Hospital. And then they tell us, wako serikali wanapigania wakisi. Sisi tuwache kudanganywa. And I have come to realize, tujipiganie. Sababu, one time, as I finish, I went to push for somebody an opportunity. Akuwe head of procurement somewhere. Mtu anaitwa Wetangula alipiga simu, mtu wetu alirumbwa, the most qualified, mtu kutoka Bukusu ndiye aliwekwa hiyo kiti. Nikaenda Kebs kutafutia mtoto mwingine kazi. Huyo Felix kusikia alipiga simu, mtoto wetu akanyimwa kazi, mtu kutoka Rift Valley akapatiwa kazi. What am I saying? Tusukume Matiangi wetu mpaka mwisho, atoke hata na kama kura 900, alafu aende akae kwa meza a negotiate na hao watu. But I want to tell you, Mount Kenya has decided to support him. Western is supporting him. The Coast is supporting him. Msidanganywe, tupambane mpaka mwisho. We are going to succeed. Na mimi nawaambia, William Ruto, out of traveling this country and listening to the people, is a one-term president. Poleni sana kwa familia. We will support you. We will be with you on 22nd. Na wale wamejipanga kujaribu kuharibu hiyo function, huko hatutakubali. Gari mboge tutu. Alimu wa Kibagendi.
Which begs the question, what is Fred Matiang'i's game plan for 2027? Is he running to win, or is he running to negotiate? I'm asking that question because I also came across this clip by Onyonka.
The reality we face today in Kenyan politics, I will say today here without contradiction, with utmost respect, Kenyan politics is based on arrangements and programs where political parties negotiate for what they take to their counties and areas. We have decided that as a community and as Kenyans, we are also going to set up our own political party. We are going to produce our own candidate who will negotiate with the president and all the other people who are running for political office in this country. And that candidate is none other Fred Matiang'i. Tumesimamisha na yeye atafuta urais.
Sisi kama jamii ya ODM, while we support you as our CS and as our SG na viongozi wengine wote katika serikali, sisi tungependa kuambia hata kama tuko shuleni, sisi pia tuko na kijana wetu wa hapa nyumbani ambaye tunampaka mafuta. Tunataka akuje kukutana na President William Ruto unyo kwa unyo 2027, anaitwa Fred Matiang'i.
For those who remember, in early May, I think it must have been 2nd or 3rd of May this year, there was a major political event in Kisii, Fred Matiang'i's homecoming. It was so huge, and Matiang'i used that homecoming to stamp his authority as the Gusii kingpin and also to announce to the country his return and his bid for the 2027 presidential elections in the Republic of Kenya. And I was privileged and honored to be invited by Fred Matiang'i to his residence for a dinner a day after that event. And we sat with Fred Matiang'i, just discussing politics and stories for close to 3 good hours. We were just 3 or 4 of us. And Matiang'i explained to me his vision for the country, why he is running. And Matiang'i convinced me about his bid. And when I left that residence, I was 100% convinced that at least it will go in history that I shared a meal with the President of the Republic of Kenya. Then from there, Matiang'i went back to the US. He came back, went back again. And I've been wondering, where is Fred Matiang'i? Because personally, we were also supposed to meet again, just to review certain things. I've been wondering, where is Fred Matiang'i? Now getting things like what Kibagendi is saying here has actually shocked me. Why? Because Kibagendi and Onyonka have emerged as the strongest supporters of Fred Matiang'i. And if they are talking the way they are talking, are we concluding that Matiang'i is running just for the purposes of negotiating? In this video, I want us to look at the implication of the statement by Antony Kagendi and to some extent Onyonka. Because even none other than the former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, at some point had this to say.
Mimi pale kwetu nimekubalika. Ya? Kwa hivyo mimi nikiongea, watu ya mlima wanajua naongea kwa niaba yao. Tunataka kujua kabisa huyu Fred Matiang'i amekubalika na jamii ya Omugusi kama kiongozi wao. Unasikia? Sasa tunajua akija kwa meza amebeba jamii nzima. Na mimi hapo ndio niko na maneno.
Unashuku kwamba jamii haijamkubali?
Mimi nashuku kwa sababu siku amekuja pale. Amelakiwa vizuri sana. Governor Simba Arati, rafiki yangu sana, alikuwa pale. Na kila mtu amesema hawataki Ruto, hawataki Raila, wanataka Matiang'i akuwe rais. Siku 3 baadaye nimesikia huyu Arati akisema Matiang'i kuja ungana na Raila. Sasa mimi nimeshangaa, kwani imekuaje? Kwani hii maneno hamungu wamemaliza? I thought hii maneno imemalizika ya kwamba Matiang'i ndio kiongozi ya jamii, aende atafute uongozi. Sasa nimeona governor ameanza kumwambia atienda ongea na Raila ati kwa ODM. So hiyo maneno ndio niko na wasiwasi naye kidogo. Tena mimi nimeanza kuona vijana wadogo, huyu kijana anaitwa Osoro, huyu anaitwa Nyakundi, wanamtusi Matiang'i na kusema ni mtu bure, hawezi, akwende, watarudi Washington, hiyo mtu hawezani na Kenya nini. So nimeanza kushindwa, huyu Matiang'i amekubalika kabisa kama kiongozi wa jamii. How do we trust ya kwamba huyu Matiang'i enjoys the goodwill of the Abagusi community?
So I want us to look at the game plan. Before we do that, for those who are watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, if I were the opposition today, the person I'd pick for the presidential ticket is none other than Fred Matiang'i. Because if you look at the formation, Fred Matiang'i takes almost everything. I've always explained to you guys that if Matiang'i were to be picked as the presidential candidate, that is the only time William Ruto will not sleep. I'm saying this because Matiang'i will consolidate the Gusii region and they'll vote for him to the last man. The Kikuyu nation will vote for Matiang'i. They don't have a problem with him at all. The Gen Zs, I doubt if they have any problem with Fred Matiang'i. They'll definitely vote for him. You go and look for ODM support base. In the absence of Raila Odinga on the ballot, Ruto will get some votes. Matiang'i has a chance of getting the votes. Again, you come to William Ruto's game plan. Ruto is planning on Western Alliance. With Matiang'i's entry as a presidential candidate, that Western Alliance will be disrupted. And of course, Matiang'i will only make one prayer that Kalonzo Musyoka agrees to support him. But I don't think if Kalonzo Musyoka will support any other person. So for me, Fred Matiang'i has high chances of becoming the next president of the Republic of Kenya. But now we are seeing the statements by people like Kibagendi. What are they trying to say? In my view, number one, I think the politics of Kenya has changed. Raila Odinga has taught them a lesson. And everybody now is now trying to be Raila Amolo Odinga. Where you have a political party, whether you win or not, then you become part of government. Let me ask you this question. Why do you think Wetangula is the Speaker of the National Assembly? Or why Alfred Mutua is a cabinet secretary? It's simply because they were principals. They had parties, and then they used their parties, like Mutua had one MP elected. Then when he was negotiating, he ended up qualifying for a cabinet position. Someone like Kingi is the Speaker of the Senate because he decided to leave ODM party, chart his own political path. So the gossip people believe, and this is what I think they are planning, people like Kibagendi, that if they package Matiangi is going to consolidate the Gusii region, which is already done. In fact, ODM party is the biggest casualty of Fred Matiang'i's entry into the 2027 presidential race, because the Gusii region is now tilting almost 100% to Matiangi. So they'll be able to now negotiate. If Ruto is re-elected, then they'll have to renegotiate. If Ruto is re-elected, then they'll have to negotiate with Ruto. If Kalonzo becomes the president, then they'll negotiate. And that's why Rigathi Gachagua is talking the way he is talking. He's questioning because of the negotiations. Number two, and this is something which I explain on this platform on a daily basis, that in politics you have only two constants, interest and betrayal. What is the political interest of Antony Kagendi or the political interest of Richard Onyonka? Their political interest is very simple. They want to get re-elected. And how can they be re-elected? They must emerge as defenders of Fred Matiang'i. We've seen that happening in Nyanza here, where the leaders don't care whether Raila Odinga wins the seat or not. For them, their goal is to win the seat. And that's why even today, there are those leaders from Nyanza who are still pushing Raila Odinga to run again. That's exactly what is happening. The statement by Kibagendi confirms that politics is a game of interest. He's only looking at his interest. Because if Kibagendi is talking of 900,000 votes, how many votes Sifuna got in Nairobi alone? How many? Yeah? Songo in Nairobi in the last election got, I think, almost 1 million votes. And that's the kind of votes now they are projecting for Matiangi. Number three, I also tend to think that maybe they are resigning to the fact that numbers don't favor them. That the Gusii numbers are 900,000. I think they should be more. But again, if you look at Fred Matiang'i, if well packaged with proper strategies, he can easily become the president. The question is, in the mountain, will Gachagua endorse him? Or will Uhuru Kenyatta own him? Because if Uhuru Kenyatta were to own Matiang'i, there is no way Rigathi will support Matiang'i. It's that simple. And lastly, the question of Fred Matiang'i's party. Which political party will Fred Matiang'i use? Because Jubilee wants to convince Matiang'i to run on that ticket. The downside of that is that he will be viewed as Uhuru Kenyatta's project. But what happens if he runs on Jubilee? He will be assured of being projected as a Mount Kenya candidate. Mount Kenya has the highest number of votes in the Republic of Kenya, the largest voting bloc. So he will start with that advantage. But now, how will that sit with the kind of statements by Antony Kagendi, which are like treble? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what you think, but let me know. What do you think is Fred Matiang'i's game plan, because a very senior political leader in this country told me, and he has been repeating, and I think, I don't know whether I can get the message. There's a message again he sent, and in that message, he was telling me, Lee, mark this, Matiang'i will not be running for the presidency. He's so sure that Matiang'i will support Ruto. I don't know. Yeah, but Matiang'i, in my view, is the best bet for Kenya if they were to remove Ruto. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.